Well, Rob, the big news today, Alex Cuthbert, your first major signing for next season. Just tell us a little bit about how excited you are about him coming to the club.
Oh yeah, I think it's a really good signing for us. As I said, he's a player we've actually looked at for a number of years. We actually first met him and interviewed him pretty much before he was breaking into top flight rugby. So it kind of shows you how long there's been a bit of association and interest from us, and his awareness of us as a club. And as I say, at 27, he's still a big, quick, strong guy. Over a period of time, because we've kept an eye on him, I've seen numerous qualities that I really like in him. And I think when we met him this time round, and you actually listen to what he's got to say about what he wants from his rugby future, I think there's an awful lot there to like. The attributes of him as a rugby player, we're very happy with, and we think we can bring a lot out of him. His ability, to be strong on and around the ball is very good, and again, maybe some of the things that people haven't seen recently in his games, but they're there. When he's only 27, he's not carrying any injuries. The medical came through with flying colours. I think what he really needs, he's really a guy who's crying out for a new challenge. And like I say, having met him, and you think of the kind of risks he's taking a little bit as well to come to us, because he's leaving Wales. He's not yet reached their cap limit to necessarily be an automatic selection for Wales. There are a few things he's taking that, when you actually look at it in the cold light of day, you've got to say fair play to him. You're coming for the right reasons. You're coming because you want your day-to-day rugby to be what you're about. You want to see where you can improve over the next 3 years, and ultimately because he's taking those chances, because he's taking that opportunity to come to us and play a different kind of rugby, and wants to play in the Premiership, and like I say, wants to play top-end Premiership games and play in front of good crowds and play in front of passionate supporters, because he wants to do those kind of things, then I believe he'll work very hard, and I think he will thrive in the environment here. He'll have to commit fully to it and work very hard, but I'm pretty confident that's what he wants to do, and those are the kind of things that we really like to see in players. He's certainly not coming here to see out his career. He's coming here because he wants to knock on as a player. He wants to maximise his next few years of day-by-day club rugby, and that's very important to us, and ultimately that's what I think will help us both bring the best out of each other, because what would be fantastic for us is to help him become a British Lion again, regardless of the Wales situation, because that's the kind of commitment we expect from him, and it's the kind of thing we'd like to help him achieve again.
I'm going to say, you've spoken to him, I've spoken to him. There is a genuine hunger there that he wants to go out and really prove a point and show what he's worth in the Premiership.
Definitely, and like I said, the Premiership is an exciting competition. Every week you play against international quality players or actual quality internationals we're now playing. That's the way it works, and every game is well supported. Every game is pressure and means something, and you can either decide that you want to be a player that brings the best out of, or you can be someone who struggles in that environment. Now, we're very comfortable that he wants to be challenged in that environment. He knows he's going to have to work very hard here. We've got a good squad of players. There'll be a lot of competition for places across the back three. That's something we want to see here, and it's something that that he's looking forward to the challenge of. As I've said, we took quite a long time in talking to him and coming to decisions. I took an awful lot of time reviewing his games, both this season and in other seasons. He's not somebody I've just looked at the last 3 games that he's played and made all my decisions, because the qualities would go beyond that with him. And I think that's the important thing, is we've done it the right way, and we believe it's a very good move for both sides.
At 6'6", 100+ kilos, he's going to offer something a bit different on the wing for us as well.
That's right, and ultimately, rugby is about creating moments, and not just creating moments, but creating pressure. And we think, as I said, he's got attributes that will work well. Alongside our other back three forwards here, we're pretty fluid how we pick back lines. We like to get our 7 best backs on the field, and sometimes that means them changing positions. But ultimately, what we're expecting from him is to be seeing some high quality moments with his ball in hand, working exceptionally hard in the basic elements like kick chase, being very strong defensively, but being one of the guys who helps us create long periods of pressure and create some big moments for us as well. Because there's undoubtedly, when you look at some of his clips and his speed onto the ball in the middle of the field, some of the impacts he can have when he has those opportunities can be fantastic. And obviously, the way we play will create opportunities for him, and it's for him to go out there and grab them with 2 hands.
Finally, you seem to be piecing together a very strong squad. You had a big core nucleus of boys re-sign, boys that were already here, and now this is your first newcomers coming in. You must be pleased with how it's shaping up for next season and beyond.
Definitely, and as you'll see, there's not loads of players coming in, and that's for a few reasons. We've got very good players here. and we've got players who are still improving, and that includes some of our guys who are already internationals. They're still improving and still moving forward. We believe we've got a strong squad. We signed well last year, I believe, with a group of players who are also improving and starting to improve with game time. So, you know, and we've also just signed like a dozen very good academy players into senior full-time contracts. So, you know, there's a lot of things that feel good to me. We look like a very solid side. What we have to work at over the end of this season and the next pre-season, if we're talking about next year, is how we move beyond being good and solid and keep driving towards being in around this top 4.